Okay, so now we have our basic design done. We're going to jazz this up a little bit. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is, I better make sure this is covering everything. There we go. Is we are going to make this photo box 3 photo boxes. Okay, first of all, I'm going to make it a little bit, not quite so deep, and I'm going to go ahead and draw my first one. And I can just copy and paste because that'll give me a second one. But what I'm going to do with this one is actually, I'm going to do 3 of them. This design isn't perfectly going to match the example that we have, but we're going to make it work. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go Command 1. I'm going to zoom in. What I'm going to do for my purposes right now is I'm going to hold my Shift key and I'm going to select all 3 of them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each of them an outline. So I'm going to click this and I'm going to go Paper, and then I'm going to give it a thickness. So now, oh, it didn't quite catch that I wanted it to be white, so I'm going to come back and do that again. And now I have a white border, I believe, all the way around my pictures. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to deselect and let them all go. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that this picture, this line is on top of this line so that it's perfect. So I'm going to zoom in to 400. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit here. In fact, I might even go to 600 just for fun. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this picture. I'm going to see just where it rests. So you can see that picture goes here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it to this line because that'll help me. It's not being very cooperative. Okay, that's perfect. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this one until it is right perfectly on top. And then I'm going to look at the top and I'm going to grab a ruler here and I'm going to make sure that looks pretty darn perfect. Uh-oh, Command Z, edit undo. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. I want this image to be exactly on top of this one. So I'm going to drag it right there. And it looks like my ruler's good. Now I'm going to go Command 0 and zoom away. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to switch to my preview mode. And look at that. I've got 3 pictures and they are all just, they're not a pica apart, they're just 2 points apart, okay? Because I drew a 2-point line. Now, to make this more interesting, I'm going to go ahead and make this one, maybe we will keep it the full length. I don't know. That's that. No, that looks. See, when you get a picture that's too long, did you see how that line popped up there that told me that these were aligned? And so that was really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my copy up. So because every item, for the most part, should be 1 pica away from the other item. Okay, so there's my pictures. And now I want another caption. So I'm going to go copy, paste. I'm going to put this caption in here. And I want things to align pretty much. Pull that in. I don't want it touching my text. And now I'm going to zoom away, go Command 0. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, we really need to shorten it up because we need room down here at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead. I know we're just modifying this image. I'm going to pull this up so they get out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to have to zoom in. It's not cooperating with me. Until I get those as perfect as can be. And now this one, it's kind of a funny shaped picture, but it's what we're going to use for today. And I'm going to pull this up. And so what you've just learned is how to put a couple pictures right next to one another with a 1 pica space, and how to do that kind of nicely. So we shrank those up and out of the way, and now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a rectangle box down here at the bottom. Actually, we already have one. We can use this. And for our purposes today, we're going to go ahead and make it a little bit shallower because we've got the folios down here, those page numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 pictures and a place for copy in this area. Okay? So actually we're going to come back and we're just going to, so I want 4 columns. And so I better turn my columns on. So there is one image. And I'm going to copy and paste. And then I've got another one. I'm going to set this one about right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to grab this. I want you to watch very carefully. What I'm going to do, I lost my tool. I think it's this one. Yep. I'm going to add an anchor point underneath this pen tool. So I'm going to grab add an anchor point. And I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 anchor points. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my direct selection tool, and it's not going to work. And it's not going to work. Let me get this guy out of the way. Ah, it's working. I'm not sure why it didn't work before. So I just extended my photo a little bit to make that a little bit interesting. And now I'm going to take this image, put it right here. So just maybe to help us out visually right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the fill color to another color. And then this one I'm going to send to the back. So now I've got, and the other thing I'm going to do with each of these is I'm going to give them a white 2-point outline. I'm going to do that here as well. I'm going to give it a paper 2-point outline. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same. Actually, I'm going to delete this. Watch this. We're going to go copy, paste, and now I've got that same thing. I'm going to send this guy about right here. He's going to go to the back. And now I've got 2 pictures. I'm going to back out a little bit, and they're identical, okay, which is cool because you want them to look identical. Command 0, there we go. And I'm going to zoom him back in a little bit. I might even pull this guy to make him a little bit smaller. So in the end, I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to drag them both back a little bit. In the end, I want to have 3 images. So now I'm going to grab this one and copy and paste and have my 3rd one. I'm going to send him to the back. Got that nice white outline on each of them. They're kind of the same width. And now I'm going to draw another box. I'm going to grab my square tool. I'm not sure how perfectly I'm going to do this. I might zoom in again, constantly zooming in and out. I'm going to zoom this right down to there. Zoom this up to here. And then this is going to go in the back again. So we've learned our send to back tools. And now I'm going to do 2 photos. Now if I do the, it is going to work. Okay, this is for my headline. So I'm going to type in, and I don't know why it's not typing. Oh, I do, because it's a 74 font. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to shrink it down to, there we go. That looks a little bit better. So there's my headline. And then I'm going to take another text box. I'm going to pull this out of the way because it's kind of annoying. I'm going to grab another text box. Oh, you're going to learn so many things here. All right. And now I'm going to fill, oh, it's with this huge font. So let's get that down to something reasonable. 10 point. In fact, I could open my type. I'm going to go to paragraph styles. And this is going to be a caption. So that's going to help me there. And now I'm just going to go type, fill with placeholder text. There's my text. But now look at this. This is running into this. So you're going to learn something important here. I'm going to click on this line. I hope this works. And we're going to do a text wrap. So I'm going to click on this button and notice it shoved it all out of the way. But I'm not perfectly happy with that. So now I'm going to go into text wrap here under Windows. And I'm going to say that I want it to be, I'm going to go about 5 points all the way around. Okay, so that gets me a little closer. Now I'm going to go back to adding those anchor points like we did before. This time, I'm going to try to add an anchor point here. And let's see if that's going to work. Now I'm going to use my direct selection tool. What happens? Oh yeah, if I pull that in, I can control how close that's going to go to my photo over here. So I'm going to do that again because that's working just dandy. And I'm going to do another one here, and that might be enough because all I need to do is put it about there, and if I pull this here and pull this here, and I could pull this in to get it out of the way. This is pretty tricky. It's kind of hard to do. And now I want you to see what we've done. Here's our preview mode. Doesn't that look nice? I'm going to teach you another trick while we're here. This seems to have 3 paragraphs in it, so we might have done this in the last video. We're going to add a 1 paragraph indent, a tab, so that each paragraph gets a new tab. And we've kind of jazzed this up a little bit. We've got, now I remember what I was going to do. What I'm going to do, yep, this will look better, is these are just going to become 3 pictures. And then we're going to do like a big group caption here. So I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to do, well, to make it fit, they might have to become really short. So I'm going to copy and paste, copy this, and shrink this up. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste that twice, and there I have 3 itty-bitty captions that I'm going to space, and I'm going to make sure these are all the way to the edge, as wide as I can make them. I like when that green line shows up. That means I'm aligned. And we've made some really awesome changes to our design. Okay, so that's enough for today. You can work on that. Thank you.